All right, let us start. Kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame bante buri panya tathagata kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame dhamma sanditika akalika kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame sangha supatipanna anuttara sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhang saranang gacchami. Dhammang saranang gacchami. Sanghang saranang gacchami. Tisarana gamanang paripunang panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Adina dana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Abrahmacharya veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Musavada veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Sura meraya majapamadatthana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Vikala bhojana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Nacha Gita Vadita Visuka Dasana Malaganda Vilepana Dharana Mandana Vibhusanatana Veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Uchasayana Mahasayana Veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Idang me silang Magapala Jnanasa Pachayo Hotu Appamadena Sampadeta Sa. All right, let us do some metta. Next week we will do something else on guided meditation. All right. Now relax. Relax the body. Keep the mind peaceful. All the thoughts, all the thinking, planning, memories, we put it aside. Let the mind be present, be mindful, be here and now. Let the body relax from the head, top of the head to the forehead. Relax the face and neck and shoulders. Relax the arms. Relax the chest, stomach, spine and the buttocks, hips. Relax the thighs, knees, calves, ankles, soles and toes. Relax the whole body. May I be free from all kinds of harm and danger. Free from all mental suffering. Free from all physical suffering. May I be peaceful. May I be well. And may I truly be happy. May I be free from all kinds of harm and danger. Free from all mental suffering. Free from all physical suffering. May I be peaceful. May I be well. And may I truly be happy. May I be free from all kinds of harm and danger. Free from all mental suffering. Free from all physical suffering. May I be peaceful. May I be well. And may I truly be happy. Now let us spread. Let us spread the metta to all the beings around here. May they be monks or nuns, yogis, may they be the guardian devas of the center, other devas around here. To all the petas, and to all the animals, big or small, far or near, seen or unseen. May all of us here be free from all kinds of harm and danger, free from all mental suffering, free from all physical suffering. May all of us here, may all of us here able to live in peace and in harmony. May we all be well, be happy, and truly be peaceful. May all of us here be free from all kinds of harm and danger, free from all mental suffering, free from all physical suffering. May we all be well, be healthy, be peaceful, and may all beings here truly be happy. Now let us extend our metta to all the beings in this country. May they be humans or non-humans, devas or petas, animals big or small, far or near, seen or unseen. May all beings in this country be free from all kinds of harm and danger, free from all mental suffering, free from all physical suffering. May all beings be peaceful. May all of them be well, be healthy, and truly be happy. May all beings in this country Be free from all kinds of harm and danger. Free from all mental suffering. Free from all physical suffering. May all of us here in this country, may we all able to live in peace and in harmony with ourselves and with others. May we all be well, be peaceful, and truly be happy. Now let us extend. Let us extend our metta to all the beings in this world. To all the beings, may they be our loved ones, near or far away. Or those whom we do not know wherever they are. Or to those whom we dislike or those who dislike us. To all the guardian devas of the sasana. To all other devas residing in this world. To all the unfortunate beings, unfortunate spirits, and to all the animals, big or small, far or near, seen or unseen. May all beings be free from all kinds of harm and danger. Free from all mental suffering. Free from all physical suffering. May all beings in this country, may they all be peaceful. In this world, may they all be peaceful. Live in peace and not in war. Live with kindness and compassion. And not in violence or cruelty. May all beings be well, be peaceful, and may all beings in this world truly be happy. May all beings be free from all kinds of harm and danger. Free from all mental suffering. Free from all physical suffering. May all beings be peaceful. May they all be well. And may all beings in this world truly be happy. Now let us expand our metta. Let us expand our metta to all beings without exception. to all beings from the highest, from all the universe or universes, to all the beings from the highest existence down to the lowest existence, to all beings, to all beings in all the world systems. May all beings without exception be free from all kinds of harm and danger, free from all mental suffering, free from all physical suffering. May all beings be peaceful. May they all be well. And may all beings truly be happy. May all beings be free from all kinds of harm and danger, free from all mental suffering, free from all physical suffering. May all beings be peaceful. May they all be well, be healthy, and may all beings truly be happy. May all beings be peaceful. May they all be well, and may all beings truly be happy. Now let us let go of the metta. Bring the attention back again to the body. Feel the sensation, feel the rise and fall of the abdomen. Feel the presence here and now. Then we can slowly open our eyes. Okay. Okay. All right. Now, last week we touched on the investigation of Dhamma. Tonight we'll continue a little bit more. So we have covered on we notice the intentions. As we notice the intentions, then we begin to differentiate between what is the cause and what is the reaction, what is the effect. We see these things happening again and again as the development of the mind takes place. Then we notice it in various ways. We gain deeper and deeper understanding to this nature of mind and body, how these two condition each other. And also noticing the intentions, then also we notice what are the suitable actions and what are not the suitable actions or speech or thought when we are in a retreat. For us to able to differentiate those things, then it will be excellent. because we begin to notice the subtle nature of our defilements or ulterior motives, or sometimes on the other opposite of the scale, it can be motivated by wholesome state of mind. Uh, Then also we can begin to differentiate between what is wholesome and even more wholesome. What is more wholesome? So because of these things, the mind becomes much more sensitive to notice this type of phenomena of the mind, the subtle phenomena of the mind that in our everyday life out there, it's impossible for us to take notice of all these things. So it helps us. It helps us in many ways to avoid unnecessary action, unnecessary speech, which will hinder our progress in the development of this vipassana. Yeah. Then also, when we able to do that, then the third one is again the yogi must able to differentiate what is the suitable objects and what is not the suitable objects. The suitable objects here, they are the phenomena of this mind and body, the characteristics of this mind and body. And that you begin to notice hard, soft mental states like anger, greed, sometimes alertness of mind. Those are like mental states. Then what are not the non-suitable objects? And the unsuitable objects, these are the concept. These are mind created, like your thinking, like your images, or even sometimes like the external object, especially like, as connected with our senses, and then it goes into a lot of thinking. Very closely, they are all connected. Now, so these things, a yogi must learn to differentiate them. Concept, they can be quite deep. Sometimes we are in a concept, we don't even realize it. Maybe afterwards, we're going to touch upon it a little bit more on concept. The fourth one is that when you're able to differentiate, the third one is that when you're able to differentiate what is the suitable object and not the suitable object. Now, when you know how to take up the suitable objects, this time is to differentiate the suitable objects even more further. That's where all your insights, all the insight knowledge lies within it. Lies within those things. How you differentiate all your phenomena of your mind and body. Yeah? The deeper that you go into this, differentiating this phenomena of this mind, body, and so on, then it will show you more and more of its characteristic. And there are different types of characteristic will arise. Now, in overall, whether mind or matter, whether mentality or physicality, all this mind and matter, they consist of each and every one of them consists of what we call a triple characteristic. 3 levels of characteristic, not just triple. 3 levels of characteristics. Every phenomena that we go through. Okay. Now the first level of characteristic is the characteristic that each phenomena are different from the other one. That is to say, if it's the characteristic of the body, let's say if there is a movement and heat, they are different. A movement and let's say something hard, then they are different. You call it the earth element, or you call it wind element, you call it all this fire element and water element. All these elements are Well, in theory, but what is in practice is that you must able to differentiate these characteristics in the sense of vipassana. When they arises prominent to you, then you pay attention to its characteristic, not thinking about the characteristic. Uh, So when you pay attention to the phenomena of its characteristic, then sometimes you will notice that the characteristic it disappear. Then another phenomena arises. Rising, falling disappear. Maybe hardness of the leg arises. Then after that, the hardness. Then after that, feeling arises. Pain arises. Pain is a characteristic. Is a phenomena. So you begin to notice this phenomena one after another in a continuous manner. So when you notice, let's say, the mind, when you notice the mind, again here, the mind have different characteristics. Initially, for example, you notice the thinking mind, thinking. Then you also notice a sleepy mind, drowsy. There are two different characteristics. Then phenomena of like anger, you notice anger arises, angry. One characteristic. Sometimes you notice that there's a fear arises, not the fear. Then if what else arises, sometimes you notice that your mind is alert, very clear. Then that alertness, it's a characteristic of the mind. So again here, the yogi goes through a different characteristics. So all these different characteristics, it signifies that particular object. It connects to that particular object has got its individual characteristic, and they are different from one to another. So the first level of characteristic is the individual characteristic. The Pali word is called sabhava lakhana, individual characteristics. And for us to enter into vipassana, we take up this characteristic. We have to take up this characteristic again and again. Say it's easy, but when we actually do it, you are bombarded by all kinds of things. Here you try to watch your rising and falling, then your thinking come in. Then you watch, a sleepiness come in. You can't watch a sleepiness because the mind is not clear. You try to do this, then another distraction come in, your mind goes elsewhere. So it's not easy, even though we talk about just all these characteristics. Yeah? Now, noticing in this characteristic, then as you go on again and again, the phenomena of this mind and body, it will slowly reveal itself, it slowly open up to show you even more as you develop into this vipassana meditation. Then you will come to a time that you begin to see what we call the second level of characteristic. The second level of characteristic is that it's called the triple characteristic. And the triple characteristic here, what it means over here, that all phenomena, whether they are mind or whether they are physical, all phenomena will show you the beginning, the middle, and the end. There's a beginning, middle, end. Okay? So too, like your rising and falling, there will be beginning, middle, end. So too, there will be your pain also, the beginning, middle, end. So too, there will be like your thinking also there beginning, middle, end. So too that your anger, beginning, middle, end. So too your mindfulness also. There's beginning, middle, end also. That's why you'll lose your mindfulness. All phenomena, they will come, they will beginning, middle, end. All phenomena. Okay? But again here, it's theory. Okay? Again here, this is theory. What actually happened to you, you don't see beginning, middle, end. When you note your pain, who end meh? No end. No end, very long. No end. Rising, falling, you don't even see the beginning also. How to catch the rising and falling? Nothing. Yeah. Thinking comes in, it's already middle of the thinking already. It's already middle of the thinking, then only you enter A. Yeah. So the thing is that what is in theory is one thing. But what you're noticing things, they are completely different thing. Yeah. Yeah. In the beginning of the practice, normally we don't see we don't see the beginning or the ending. Normally, you will see the middle part of it only. That's why when the pain strong already, then you put your mind there, then it's there. Yeah. Yeah. Then when you come back, let's say the pain disappear, you don't exactly see how it disappear. It's just like fade into the background, then another one become more prominent. So the other one become more prominent. Actually, that prominent one, you don't actually see how it begins. You only see somewhere in the middle, it's already moving already. Yeah, it's already somewhere moving. So it's perfectly okay. It's perfectly all right for you to do that. Yeah. Yeah. Now, as you develop further, as you develop into this meditation further, there'll be times the beginning will become more prominent than the middle or the ending. Yeah. So for example, like the intention, you notice the intention arises, then phenomena take place. Intention arises, then exactly you see how the leg starts, how the legs start moving. Or, or sometimes you notice the mind that arises, then only the rising take place. Then when you're going to start going to falling, the mind arises, then only goes into falling. So exactly you see the phenomena, how it starts and how actually it falls away. How is it? How actually it starts after that. So the beginning becomes much more prominent than the middle or the end. Yeah. And this phenomena, you have to see it as they arises. You don't go and care gao, You're going to pandai just because you listen to this type of talks. Then tomorrow, you go and look, how come I don't see what Bande say one? No. Or sometimes yogis tend to they they force themselves to note how it actually begins, how it middle and how it ends. And this is a not a very good way to start off meditation. You end up with a lot of stress, a lot of tension. Uh, the, the bad thing is that sometimes I hear instructors, teachers do teach in that way. Oh, I feel so sorry for the yogi. Then your interview come in. Do you see the beginning? Do you see the middle? Do you see the end? You don't see like you shake already, you're scared already. Don't know how to report already. And this thing happen. Yeah. Whereas I don't say drink in my teaching, I don't say to you, take note of the beginning, middle, end. This is not your level yet for a beginner. Huh? There will come to a time, it will show you on its own. Sometimes it will show you the ending. The ending becomes very clear. The beginning, middle, not so clear. Yeah. And sometimes, like for example, the beginning at one time was clear. The yogi could able to notice the intention quite a lot. But after some time, you develop further. This beginning one, it's not going to be clear anymore. It's not going to be a prominent aspect anymore. It could be another part. It could be the ending will become clear. So middle and end, middle and beginning may not be clear anymore. Yeah. Doesn't mean that just because you see one thing at that particular level of yours, notice, you think that in future also you're going to see this thing. No, it's different. The insight is going to show you other parts, other processes of what is going on. So, in other words, the phenomena of this beginning, middle, and end, it comes to the yogi in the different level of your development. Okay, it comes to a different level of your development. Sometimes it shows you that you take to notice that way. It shows you the ending. You also take note the ending. You don't go and think why there's no beginning, there's no end. There's no beginning, there's no middle there. Sometimes it's only that shows you the middle aspect only. Then you pay attention as they are, just to see what is there. Don't go and look for what is not there. Because if you are going to look for what is not there, then a lot of tension and anxiety will arise to the yogi. Uh, uh. So a lot of times, yogis connecting the theory and the practice being ngamon, being ngamon. So the theory says something, their practice do another thing, then they say that their meditation wrong. Because everything they want to fall back to the theory. Well, not like that. No, not like that. But there will be times, sometimes, then it will show you all the process of beginning, middle, ending. Then after that, all this beginning, middle, ending will disappear again. It will show you another, like just ending on it, or just beginning on it. Yeah. So in this way, sometimes yogi thought that they are digressing, because those things they seen it quite clearly. Then how come in the further development they don't see it anymore? Is it that they're doing it wrongly? No, they're not doing it wrongly. It's just that sometimes lack of understanding about the practice. So as I said, a lot of times when you go through this vipassana meditation, you have to trust your own mindfulness, because your mindfulness cannot make you wrong one. It's only your thinking, your biased thinking, that make us wrong. Sometimes we thought that we know a lot of the Dhamma. Sometimes we thought we know a lot of the Dhamma. Then when we put it on to the practice, all entangled, pasikat and then you get very confused. How come meditate like that and the book says like that? How like that? That's why very hard for you to connect all these things together, especially when the maturity of the practice is not there. Yeah. So what a yogi should do at your level, learn to trust your mindfulness. To let your mindfulness shows you whatever that is in the present moment, you pay attention to what is in the present moment. Don't go and think into what 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 it's supposed to be, what it should be, rather than what is right in front of you. That's what happened in the world of vipassana that I've seen. I mean, the world means literally the world, not in a way of sometimes I go into different countries and I listen to what people talk about vipassana and so on. And a lot of them, they have a good theory about meditation. Then again, this theory, they want to force it into their practice. Another one is the Abhidhamma one. Not to say Abhidhamma is wrong, Abhidhamma is right. They force the whole Abhidhamma into their practice, even that they are in the beginning of their meditation. And then this is where you go get into a lot of entanglement, actually. Because first of all, mindfulness is not arising. Because the objects are not prominent. When the objects are not prominent, then there's no mindfulness arises. And then when no mindfulness arises, then inside the mind, then they simply think already, Well, then the more that they think, and then more that they entangled inside there. And then they try to meditate, and more entanglement, and then there's a lot of this one. Yeah. So what happened over here? I mean, what I'm trying to say here is in another way, that you're supposed to pay attention to what the phenomena right in front of you. It shows you this way as prominent, then you notice it this way. So when you pay attention to it in this way, this is called the direct wisdom, the wisdom that arises from vipassana. But a lot of times, this is one of the biggest problem, is that the yogis want to go back to the second type of wisdom. What is the second type of wisdom? That's thinking, the thinking wisdom. They are thinking about the Dhamma. Is, you're supposed to pay attention, but you go back into thinking again. You're supposed to pay attention, goes back into thinking about the Dhamma, about the present moment. So a lot of entanglement. Every time they 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 push the mind back again to one level lower. But to the yogi, they think that the thinking mind is more better mind, a stronger mind, a more wonderful mind than just paying attention directly to what is going on. So this is one of the biggest problem, that yogis tend to go back into a lot of thinking about their meditation practice. And think and think and think and think and think until cannot meditate. Think and think and think until 头甜. That's quite bad, actually. So let's come back to the second type of characteristic. So the second type of characteristic here is this: you will see beginning, middle, and end, but they are not going to happen at the same time. Whatever that arises, you pay attention to it. Sooner or later, you will come to see it phenomena. Now, the third level here. The third level is this: the third type of characteristic is this universal characteristic. The three universal characteristic of anicca, dukkha, and anatta. Okay? Anicca, dukkha, anatta. What is anicca, dukkha, anatta? Anicca, dukkha, or anatta is five aggregates. In other words, five aggregates is anicca. What is dukkha? Five aggregates is dukkha. What is anatta? Five aggregates are anatta. Because the nature of five aggregates inherently lies these three things: anicca, dukkha, anatta. Yeah. And all these anicca, dukkha, anatta, they are still hidden for many of us. We haven't reached to the level of truly seeing the anicca, dukkha, anatta. Mostly what we do with this anicca, dukkha, anatta is that we go into a lot of thinking type of anicca, dukkha, anatta. We think. I'm not to say wrong. I'm not to say wrong. If you think of anicca, dukkha, anatta, you're still fine, but not in the level of during in the meditation. Because again, when you go back into thinking, you're still thinking. You're still thinking. It's still analytical work. But this time, the anicca, dukkha, anatta, it shows into the phenomena of this mental and physical characteristics. It shows in the mental and physical characteristics. Anicca, dukkha, anatta, the basis of anicca, dukkha, anatta is this arising and passing away moment after moment. Yeah. The arising and passing away moment after moment. Here, moment after moment, when we say moment after moment, it's a very fast moment after moment now. Not that slow, slow, one moment, then 10 minutes later, another moment, 1 hour later, another moment. No, it's not like that. It's moment after moment means that it arises, it passes away, arises, passes away, arises, passes away, arises, passes away in continuous manner, unbroken, unstopping. Okay, they don't stop, especially the mental part. They don't stop. If they stop, then nibbana ya lo. Because it doesn't stop. That's why you got samsara. It goes again and again and again and again and again and again and again. Next life, immediately the next life consciousness start. Then then no stop. So it arises and passes away again and again and again and again and again. So within this arising and passing away, how the mind perceives that arising and passing away, then the perception of it is whether it is going to be anicca, dukkha, or anatta. Uh, uh, Now, the phenomena here, for example, let's say you take your rising and falling. Your rising and falling has changed into a much more faster, it changes into a lot of there's no much of a rising and falling as a pattern of how it rise and fall, but this time it's just only arising and passing away, arising and passing away. And the arising and passing away, certain times, certain level of when you notice it, you notice that it's just arising and passing away incessantly. It cannot stop. Keep on going and going and going and going and going and going. That time you are perceiving it as anicca. But there's no word for it, It's just the phenomena happen like that, Then this is anicca. Now another level of anicca also, that when you perceive it, in a sense that everything is going to go into destruction. You don't see the beginning part of it, but everything is just arise and passes away, and then it goes into disappearing or destruction. That is also anicca. Different way of how we look at anicca. All these things, it will show you as you progress. You don't have to go and look for it. When you're ready, it will show it to you. Yeah, it will show it to you. So that's why you can able to, again here, your mind is differentiating a lot of things inside there. Even every arising and passing away, moment after moment, your mind can able to pick those things up And this shows that the function of the noting mind is so wonderful right now. Yeah, and mind is very clear, very sharp. Every small little gap, it already knows what is happening already. Yeah. So, so in this way, it shows you all the arising and passing away of what is phenomena here and there. Yeah. Now, during sometimes, then when you notice this arising and passing away, certain times you notice it like very miserable, 该坎坷 then that time, then only you realize what is the meaning of suffering. You think a buttock pain here and there suffering. I mean, it is suffering, lah. Not to say it's not, lah, I know. But if you think that this is all the suffering you're going to get, ha, you're on the surface level only. You belum habis go inside there some more. But it's this time of suffering, this time of dukkha. We cannot call it like suffering anymore, actually. It more like dukkha already. This time, the dukkha is not connected to the pain, not necessarily connected to a pain. It can be connected to a pain, but it also can be connected to all your happy thoughts, happy feelings. It can also be connected to all your phenomena, which is very neutral to you. Even like right now, say for example, you're rising, falling, lifting, pushing, dropping. Very neutral, ma. You walk already very happy, man. No, you walk already very suffering, man. No, then other words, very neutral to you. So again and again, you notice throughout the whole day is very neutral. But there will be times when your mind is so much more matured. You see this arising and passing away. It could be sometimes when you notice this lifting, pushing, dropping. It's so unbearable. But you can still note, no. What you see, you cannot note. Everything is still very clear to you. Lifting, pushing, dropping, everything very clear to you. Rising, falling, everything very clear to you. Phenomena that's arising and passing away, still very clear to you, but it's so difficult to note. You know that your mindfulness is continuous, but you don't want to go for the next sitting because the next sitting is, you know what is waiting for you. Although you can progress, but kiaga progress. You become so fearful about the progress because you're going to face the deeper aspect of this nature of suffering, nature of dukkha. Huh? Now, all this perception that you notice, whether it's anicca, dukkha, or anatta later on, then all these things is to change your internal wrong perception. It's because to change from your mental perception of self, no, sorry, because of permanence, to truly notice things, everything is impermanent, everything is anicca. You may hold the view of God, you may hold the view of a soul, you may hold the view of eternity. When you come to this area, you cannot have this type of thoughts anymore. The thoughts doesn't hold any water at all. They don't have any basis. Then only you realize that all those things are just mind made only, conceptually made only. But we don't realize it. We thought that those things are real, so real to all of us. Yeah. Until you go into a deeper aspect when truly you see how the mind and body are functioning, how they arises and passes away, all the idea of of wrong view, right? Slowly they are being pushed aside, and truly the right view starts to slowly arises. Yeah. Now, when you go deeper, also, yeah, now the phenomena of this anatta also become very clear. Anatta here means non-self, or sometimes some people like to translate it as not self. But whichever it is, sometimes anatta right in front of us, we don't even know that this is anatta, because there's no name inside there while you're noting. Like for example, when the day I mentioned about when you notice the intention, how the intention arises, then how only your arms can move, only your legs moving, or you notice the thought that arises, then the rising take place, or thought arises, falling take place. If you note three thoughts that come before each and every one, this is anatta. One perspective of anatta, one aspect of anatta. This is not yours. This is not mine. Not I am the one who's controlling it. It's just phenomena of something arises, something else take place. Yeah? So too, the same thing. Like for example, you can able to differentiate between this mind and matter. Sometimes you notice the rising and falling, and concurrently, the mind is on top of it also. And I mentioned about it also last week. When you notice this way, it also is another perspective of anatta. You don't even realize it that you are seeing through the anatta, but it's already happening. Because when you see that thing, the idea of self, idea that there's something that is there be a external self, external thing, oh no more. It's just phenomena of rises, the phenomena of mind and physical phenomena only. So a lot of things that what you're going to go through in this fourth level of wisdom. No, sorry. Yeah, no, the fourth level of where you begin to differentiate all the characteristics. That during this time, there's going to be a lot of things you're not going to see before. A lot of things that you're not going to see because it's going to go into a lot of phenomena of what is going to happen to the mind and body process. And it will scare you. Or sometimes it will scare you. Not all the time, but sometimes. It shake you to the core. Yeah. It shake you to the core. Take, let me take a simple example. Just now I mentioned a bit already, like even like you thought that, for example, like the dukkha aspect type of dukkha, that you already fear of sitting. Even that time, sometimes for some yogis, for so long, 1 hour walk, 1 hour sit, sap so, You see, but this time, sometimes they can't even sit and finish that 1 hour. So difficult to finish that hour. And yet, sometimes you think that you are going backward, going something wrong. But it's not something wrong. It's part of the whole progress. It's just that you never encountered it before. We have the perception that when progress, mean everything, once you progress, everything soon already, Huh? Now you think that in the beginning part, you think that your jalan is all with lubang here, lubang there, all a lot of pothole. After you fall into it, like you drive a car, suddenly there's a big pothole, you boom. Then you drive and boom, boom. Boom means you sleep, means you a lot of thinking. But we think that as we grow further, we develop further, then we thought that everything is much more smoother. Yes, in a sense that it's smoother because it's less of these bumpy things, less of sleepiness and less of thinking, but it comes in another form. It comes in different form. It comes in a form that you have not seen before. That is where doubt arises. Your skeptical doubt can arise actually. Yeah. Take for example, take take a few example. Let me think. Yes, that's one thing. Talk about the concept. Just now I said I want to talk about the concept. Now, sometimes in the practice, even as a beginner also, after you let's say you train well, you train hard for 2-3 weeks or 4 weeks, and you pay attention to all the phenomena as much as you can, throughout day after day. And there are also some progress also along the way. Then you begin to see a lot of all these characteristics much more better, much more clearer. Now, sometimes certain phenomena, like for example, when you sit down, you notice that you're rising and falling. You notice you're rising. And while you're noticing the rising and falling, you notice whether you realize it or not, your concept is also attached to it quietly at the behind it. So it's quietly that you don't even notice that it's there, until sometimes, like for example, in the beginning part, you notice that how does the movement like? The movement feel like a balloon like that, or sometimes the balloon and the rising and falling is on top of each other, because you see it as a like that, ma. Yeah. Then sometimes you think that it's like a. I got to take some example from yogis. They said that the rising and falling look like then they make the dough, when you use the rolling pin, go up and down, up and down, up and down. I think maybe that time they must be hungry. So, somehow or another, the rising and falling is like making bread like that. Making koi. So the phenomena here, the concept and the rising and falling is just on top of each other. At least these are more grosser concepts. Sometimes some yogis notice that this concept is like a snake that is moving because it's moving this way and that way. Sometimes it's like something twisting and so on. Sometimes it's like rounded in that way. Then later, as you keep on noticing, this imagination, this so-called concept, it becomes less and less going to get attached to it. And sometimes some yogis are afraid that if they don't attach this concept onto the phenomena, then they're afraid that progress will not take place. Because to them, that rising, falling, is they use this concept to describe how the rising and falling take place. So a lot of times, what happened to the yogi is that it could be because they fear interview lah. So they have to remember ma. So when you want to remember it, what do? You conceptualize it. You have to think about it. Then only you get up, then you write a little bit. Because you think about it already. You think about it. So sometimes yogi afraid to forget what they see, So they try to use a lot of concept and try to put onto the rising and falling. Now, actually with that, the yogi actually slow down the whole progress. Just because they want to impress the teacher. Just because they have something to report. Yeah. Because reporting for maybe you're not afraid of me, but there are places you you come in, you shake first. You pay respect also goyang already. Before you come in, you're already sweating already. You think sometimes I talk to you, describe things to you. Teachers, some teachers don't want to see you, so they take a book, report. They don't want to see your face also. Your report. Anything wrong, but they listen, They listen. Anything wrong, kena already. You stop the book. What? Ah. So sometimes it make yogi very, very uncomfortable. Yeah. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is that a yogi must learn slowly and slowly. You have to learn to drop the concept how you describe your objects, and there will be times that you will forget the rising and falling. How is it like? After all, you got 7 sittings per day. How are you going to remember everything? Impossible. Unless 6.5 sitting, you're not clear. Only half an hour only you're clear, for the whole day. Yeah. So, therefore, a yogi must learn how to slowly and slowly take this, push it away. And sometimes also yogis, they tend to write a lot. They love to write a novel about their practice. So a little bit of meditation, walking. After that, they stop for a while. Yeah. Then put their hand aside, then lifting, pushing, dropping, lifting, pushing, dropping. Take up the book. Yeah. Or they sit down. After 15 minutes, they sit, take up the book. Right. Put down. After again, do like that. They walk right. Don't do like that. You are going into a lot of all this concept. And all this concept is really hindrance to your progress. So a lot of us do that. A lot of us. That's why progress cannot go that fast. People take 1 retreat, you take 5 retreat to progress. You see the concept? It can slowly hinder your little bit here and there. Here and there means you got 2 weeks here. There's a lot. There's a lot of doing it. Especially sometimes like beginners meditation. They love to write a lot. Then this is one thing. They go into a lot of all this thinking because they're afraid of forgetting. So a lot of times they go into analytical thinking. So another type of concept is sometimes like for example, you sit down, you're facing the wall, for example. Then you meditate. Then suddenly you realize that you're not facing the wall. As if like you're facing the window. Then you think about it. It cannot, ma. Just now I started already, I faced the wall already. Now how come during meditation I face the window one? The concept is slowly changing. Also, sometimes you meditate. You're sitting, let's say you're sitting, you close your eyes. Suddenly after that, the whole body and mind go upside down. How come your leg is up, your head is down? Or sometimes you think that you are sitting sideways, but actually when you open up your eyes, hey, still straight. What's wrong? Is it something wrong with my meditation? Is it something wrong with my mind right now or in my heart right now? It's actually not something wrong with you. It's actually a quite common phenomenon for many yogis. Maybe not all, but quite common here and there. This is here, slowly and slowly, your concept of direction begin to shake already. Begin to shake the concept of direction to shake during in the vipassana meditation. And you begin to forget about where you are also. Sometimes in the deeper aspect of meditation, you don't realize that where you are right now. You don't even know that you're in Santi Sukarama at that moment of time. But after that, you know that you are still in Kota Tinggi here. But there will come to a time, that short time, you totally forget about where you are. That is another problem that yogi think that they have problem. They think that they are going amnesia or Parkinson. No, this is not. This is not. They forget places. You forget time also, actually. Sometimes you go in there deep enough, things become very clear. You don't realize that whether this is morning or night. Then after that, you have to think about it. Hey, still in the morning, still got a long way to go throughout the day. You forget. Then again, yeah, you think, when these things happening here and there, you think that you're having some kind of mental problem coming up. Meditate a bit xiao liao, you're going to go crazy. But this is again, I can assure you, this is not. This is again is a breaking of the concept that the mind is begin to truly, fully stays with the moment of what is going on. Yeah. A lot of us, when we are beginning to meditate, while we are meditating, rising, falling, the concept is still there. Sometimes our yogis, they meditate. They can feel half the body only. Half the body got one half of the face, half the arm, half of the leg. And the other side now totally disappear. How come half only? Then they open up the eyes. It's still around. Yes, still around. All these things, again, as I said, the concept, yes, can be quite deep inside us. Direction, seeing, and bodily shape and form, how all these forms are happening inside us. So again, you got to learn to trust your mindfulness. You got to learn to trust your mindfulness. And when you trust this mindfulness more and more, when these things happen, keep noting. Keep noting and noting and noting. Because objects going to behave a lot differently than you can never think of it, no matter how you this one, how you think about how vipassana progress, you can never think of it. Uh, 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 so phenomena will change. A lot of the phenomena will change. How it goes. Sometimes your rising, falling goes going to go sideways. How your rising and falling go, instead of going forward, it's going to go backward. Instead rising and falling right here is going to go a little bit higher. How come the breathing now is going a bit higher and so on? No, things are going to change. As much as you can, don't fall into the concept too much. Don't think about it too much. There's nothing wrong with you. As long as there's mindfulness, there's nothing wrong with you. So all you need to do is just pay attention as they really are. Not what as you think it should be, as they really are. So again and again, you pay attention to this. Yeah? Okay. So we stop here. We continue a bit more on this one, because I thought I want to finish today, but somehow concepts too much. We'll continue this tomorrow. Okay. Idang me bawanang nibbanasa pachayo hotu. May my mental cultivation be a condition for the realization of nibbana. Imang no punya bagang sabba satanang dema. We share these merits with our departed ones, with all beings and all the devas. Sabbe satta sukhi hontu anumodantu. May all beings be happy. May they rejoice in these merits. Sadhu. Sadhu.